Hello everyone and welcome back to some more Astlibra! Let's start with the first stratum. Nah, let's just do the entire thing. We have some grinding to do today, y'all! Ooh, chest! Okay. Dragon Head we've already mastered. Let's grab this sword.
Wait, why and how are you level 1?
Oh, because in this game, every time you come back to the start, you get reloaded back to level 1.
I see.
Oh, that just made me lose everything, okay. Magical vision, no. Maybe. No. Dash for sure. Spiral notification, I guess. Pollen's nose, yes. Air ride, yes. Shuffling is a yes. Aegis is generally a yes. And then we have these two as well. So yeah, Azura's here with us. Yay!
Yeah.
So you get to keep basically everything else, win or lose, except if you die without being able to go back to town, you lose the force that you have gotten. But I think supposedly you keep everything else. I think, supposedly. But every time you go in, no matter what, you restart back at level 1 again. And as you level up, you get points in specific skills based off of which build you are currently on. So right now, I'm working on Thief because I want to get some Thief experience. Because if you master one of the classes, you get just a permanent stat boost. So since I'm still relatively early game, I want to try to get as many stat boosts as I can. So yeah, working with all the different classes that I'm able to get. Do. Let's take a lottery ticket. Let's go in here and let's basic lottery. We got Corundum. Okay, that's pretty good. Luxury lottery ticket. We got Corundum. So we can choose the different styles. And we need Corundum to unlock new ones if we get... Okay, so we need copper bars. So we need, what, 3 copper bars, basically? 4? Good thing we unlocked crafting. Oh, I don't have enough coins. Fine, let's just go with this. Alright, cool, we found lots of ores. Why is it all just stones? Really? Only one of them was anything other than just a bunch of stones? Really? Fine. Just want to get that little bit of extra money so we can buy a new weapon before we go to the next region. But I think we're all out of enemies. Alright, what can I afford to sell? Fine. Bad idea to do, but whatever, I'll do it. And then on each floor we do this, and we jump down. There isn't usually very much to talk about while doing this. But I mean, oh well. Ooh, ant toxin. Ah, I saw this. Oh, let's check. I got a duplicate of swordsman, so now I get more swordsman ability. Okay, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to... Seems like I only get stone if I use the stone for that, for whatever reason. I still get copper, use copper and get at least... Or copper, wood, and get at least a few good things. I don't know if decently sharp, decently strong. Cinnamon, no! Just because I haven't been around for a few days, Cinnamon thinks he can go off and do anything he wants. Oh, nice stamina card. Icarus wings and a crystal. Icarus wings are indeed, yep, reduce the speed of falls. Not something I generally want to have. Oh my gosh, wait, Garden Fork went from nothing to full really fast. Oh, that's kind of really good. Yeah, no, just more stone. That's a bit of random. Alright, need the flowers for that, flowers for that. That's all I can get from here now. Me? What's up? Hey, sir. I know something we can talk about. If you're still around.
Yes.
You're not busy distracted with something else.
Yes.
Sorry about it earlier, whatever. But wham shots or wham lines from like movies, games, etc.
Wham
Which of course will be spoilers for whatever we talk about.
Wham? What do you mean by wham shots?
Let me lower down the volume a fair bit so I can actually hear you talk. Basically, you think that a plot of whatever is going one certain way, and then something happens, and immediately everything takes like a 180, or stuff is put into new perspective that you wouldn't consider before, or something. Suddenly, everything is different, and all it took was like one line. Like, for example, Doctor Who, the episode of the Pandorica, where it's building up, you know, the Pandorica for the entire episode, and like the greatest evil in the universe is kept in there. And then it opens, and it's empty, and it's revealed that the greatest evil in the universe that's going to be kept in is the Doctor. Or heck, early in that same season with the cracks that were appearing everywhere in space-time, basically. And then the Doctor
I mean, that stuff... So much of the stuff that was going on in that time just really took a long time to get fully addressed. Like, some of the... It's just interesting, some of the stuff they introduced during the Matt Smith era didn't actually get resolved until Capaldi time.
Or like the Bad Wolf arc with the Ninth Doctor, where they have the words just Bad Wolf just kind of following throughout the season. And at the end it's, I am Bad Wolf.
And then also, like, the true identity of the face of Bo.
Yeah. Oh, the face of Bo, they called me.
And, let's see here, what else? Right, and of course, the first season with David Tennant, Torchwood. And then, of course, in the Martha Jones season, I mean, ultimately, the Four Knocks thing, just...
I mean, what...
That, and
no,
also
actually,
just Saxon.
Okay, the Master knocking 4 times, not so much, and the he will knock 4 times and then you will die thing, that's not wham, that's, you know, Chekhov's gun, basically.
Yeah, but right, the Saxon thing, yeah.
The wham with that, I think it was Tennant, whoever, was actually at the end of the season, after the Master is defeated and the Time Lords are sent back to Gallifrey, and then you just hear...
Well, first of all, that was actually not in that season. That was in one of the specials after the next season.
No, I'm talking about the episode where the Master turns everybody in the world into copies of him.
Yes, that is what I'm talking about, too.
I thought that was the season finale.
No. No, in the, Okay. The season finale of the one with Martha Jones is the one where he brings in, like, the robots from the future and basically enslaves humanity for a year.
No, I'm talking about, I think, before then.
No, if you're talking about the one where everyone gets changed into him, that was in the last of the 4 specials after the season after that season. Because that was after the, because you're talking the knock on the door and it's Donna's grandpa.
Yes. who
Yeah,
will knock
that
4 times.
and that was after, the Doctor had to basically wipe Donna's memory, which was the next season after the one we're talking about.
I thought it was before.
Nope. I know those things can kind of get a little mixed
Because I
up.
thought Martha was after that point. Because that was
No.
when David Tennant turned into Matt Smith.
What?
Wasn't
No,
that where David Tennant, like, left being the Doctor and then Matt Smith became the new Doctor?
After that episode, yes. But Martha was with David Tennant, not Matt Smith.
Oh, right. Fair point. I've told you before and I'll keep saying it. I keep mixing up those two. But right. And then all of that, and then... Right. Gosh, I don't know why. I thought that Martha, for some reason, was... after all of the, was it Rory and whatever stuff?
No, you're thinking Clara.
I might be thinking Clara.
Yeah, Martha was the black woman.
I mean, apparently, I don't see color. I mean, it's not a great line to say, but I guess. No, Martha was the Doctor. Or at least Doctor in training.
Well, she was an actual doctor in training.
Oh,
yes.
she was an actual Doctor, okay. I
Not
didn't
the
remember
Doctor.
if she was, like, a student training to be a doctor, or had finished her education.
I'm pretty sure she was a doctor. Like, actually.
Because I thought in the first episode that she was in that she was with a group that was still training, but it could have just been a group of new doctors.
I honestly
which
don't
it was.
I don't fully remember, to be honest.
Oh, I got an extra trinket slot!
Ooh, trinkets.
Da 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 da! And since it seems like luxury lottery prizes are something that can basically just drop from enemies, you could effectively end up with infinite trinket slots if you just really wanted to keep trying. No, still need that. Still need... Okay, still need 2 of that. And money. Right, so anyway... Or, tell me the name of the boy who isn't going to die today. Davros. My name is Davros. Or, I think a much earlier one, but also not as much of a WAM line, but still kind of. I was a father once. Grandfather, too. Like that. Like, I think basically every episode has some sort of a WAM moment in Doctor Who. Like, that's just part of how they write episodes.
Of course, the thing is, like, if for what you're talking about there, I mean, I can think of a really, really big one that isn't Doctor Who.
Yes. Would you kindly?
Would you kindly?
Okay. You haven't played the game? The Would You Kindly scene is multiple WAM moments back to back in one cutscene. Like, I wish that you hadn't been spoiled by that, so I could have convinced you to play through the game, so you could see everything that happens. Like, the entire game just takes a hard turn at that moment. Because I tried to explain it all earlier. First, the would you kindly, the oh, you have not actually been in charge of your own actions because, hey, this is a video game, strictly speaking, you have been doing because you would do anything that the game tells you to do. So you have, in fact, just been doing as this person in the game has been telling you to because that's how video games work. Two, the person that you thought was your ally is actually, like, the second big bad. Three, the big bad that you're trying to kill, who is seemingly remorseless, actually does kind of, have remorse for things that he did, not in the way that you had hoped, but technically in some form of a way. Oh, and instead of getting a big old awesome boss fight against him where you kill him, he forces you to kill him just to prove that you have to do whatever you're ordered to. He hands you a golf club and says, kill, would you kindly? And you don't have a choice. Oh, and it's revealed that the reason why you get to respawn, because again, it's a video game, respawning is a thing you do in video games, but the reason you are able to respawn and seemingly none of the enemies are, is because your character is the son of Andrew Ryan. And the Vita chambers are locked to his DNA. You already knew that they were locked to his DNA, and you just don't question, oh, why can I respawn? Well, it's because it's a video game. Your character can respawn because he's the son of Andrew Ryan. You've been brainwashed this whole time. The big bad... One of the big bads actually is still alive and is your partner. Oh. And has a command to just turn off your heart. So it's like more or less 4 wham moments kind of just in a row.
Huh. Let's see here. Oh, right. You know what? Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. There's an event about 3/4 of the way through the game that kind of changed, like, it changes everything that has happened up to that point. At least as far as, like, the main plot goes. It's just, like, revealing who you, the main character, actually are.
Yep.
I kind of don't want to just outright spoil it, if for anyone who hasn't played it. Because it's one of those things where I don't think people are talking about it as much anymore, so anyone who... It feels like with the would you kindly thing has kind of become...
Everyone started talking about it as soon as the person found it, because it's so awesome.
Yes. It's kind of like, that's kind of like the video game equivalent of Rosebud as the sled.
I just thought of another similar moment, but keep going.
But with Knights of the Republic, at the very least, like, it was a hot topic at the time, but, I don't think people are talking about it as much. So I think there's a chance that there's people who might be watching this who have never played it, and also don't know what the heck I'm talking about. So, yeah, go play it.
Alright, speaking of, like, wham moments that are kind of really obvious now, there are a lot in Undertale. I used Undertale, we talked about it earlier, because I talked with my brother who loves Undertale, to get him to understand it more. Undertale and Doctor Who. But also, Five Nights at Freddy's, the first game. If a person were to go into the game, like, completely not knowing anything about any of it. And just like, yeah, you have a job, you're a security guard at a place somewhat like Chuck E. Cheese. Like, I don't remember when Five Nights at Freddy's first came out, watching a video of someone who, like, they went into it, they were saying that their expectations were that, oh, hey, people are going to break in and we're going to have to use the security systems to, like, fend them off. And that's, like, the kind of game it's going to be.
Ah.
So when they saw an animatronic not on the stage, and then they saw it just standing in the dining room, and they realized, no, the security things aren't for keeping people out of the building. They're for making sure that these animatronics that you're guarding don't kill you. And that was, I mean... Oh, duh, because I have this, so I'm still level 1. Wait. Yeah, that was really something. Yeah, Undertale, the whole Flowey knows that you can save and reload the game. Because it turns out Flowey can also do that, or at least could. Sans can also track you and has been judging you the entire time.
What other good moments of that? I mean, I know there's got to be a term for it, and I don't think it's just wham moment. But you know what? I'm just gonna look up on TV tropes because I'm sure we can find.
Wham line is the TV trope. Wham line and wham shot.
Oh.
Yeah, those are what the tropes are.
Huh.
Are there any from Hazbin Hotel or Jaleva Boss? There's the opposite of a wham line. I remember that.
I mean, honestly, like there's a couple of moments that occur to me, but when it comes to Hell of a Boss, the only ones that come to mind are basically anything that's like flashback moments.
Oh, Hazbin Hotel.
Huh?
Hazbin Hotel. Essentially all of Hell is Forever. Well, not all of it, but multiple times in that. Oh yeah, I know it's just been a week, but we'll be back in 6 months.
Okay, I just want to point out, looking at the wham line here at the example subpages, for like just seeing what things have their own separate categories. Just like
Doctor Who.
Here? Yeah, live action TV, Doctor Who, Survivor. That's an interesting thing there. In anime and manga, and it lists a few specific ones. Video games, Final Fantasy, yeah. Like the very first Final Fantasy for sure. Fire Emblem, Persona, Pokemon, Undertale. Visual novels has only one subcategory, Danganronpa.
Yeah.
And it's just, I just want to point out, like, the fact that these things have subpages of this
means that there's a lot of those.
Yeah, a lot. And it's just like, yeah, that's basically all of Danganronpa.
It's just, oh my gosh. Okay. So before I forget, but I want to mention that BioShock had a lot of like shocking moments, like wow moments in it, and impactful moments in it because of like the build-up that it had given to itself and etc. etc. Bioshock 2 tried to piggyback off of it, but I don't really think that there are any real moments in Bioshock 2 that are actually as impactful as some moments, especially the Would You Kinda moment in Bioshock 1. There are some moments that tried to be impactful, but because they were barely ever even built up, they didn't wind up working out to be basically anything. Like, there's one chapter where you keep getting audio diaries of this guy who's like a scientist, and he knows he's losing his mind, like, effectively. And he's like, hey, if you find me and I've, like, completely gone insane from all this, kill me. Like, I don't want to live without, you know, my intelligence. Well, okay, screw you too, Spider. Come back here, let me kill you. Up. And then that guy, Alexander, is, like, the boss of the region. At the end, you can choose if you want to kill him or not. But, as you're choosing, the guy that he is now begs you to let him live. And so you have to choose, do you go by the audio diaries and just kill him, because that's what he wanted, or let him live because that's what he wants now? It's like, yeah, I mean, he wants to live. Sure, he didn't want to, but sure, he thought that he wouldn't want to, but he does. Like, that's not shocking or anything. Or it's like, oh, this person who's been helping your character, the big... So your character is the alpha, like, the first big daddy. So this, you know, young adult woman who's been helping you this whole time is your daughter. It's like, is that supposed to be... Was that really supposed to be surprising? One of the people that helped you out during this path was the one that, like, basically did something really bad to your daughter at some point in the past and is the reason for the plot of the game. Okay, you're just bringing this up at the last moment. Okay, sure, fine. Like, they tried. Yeah, Danganronpa had a lot.
Yeah, I'm now just looking through here on the TV tropes pages just with video games, just saying, are there any ones here that I have played that I would recognize with this? It's just like,
I want to see if there's any WAM lines from My Little Pony.
I can check.
Yay!
Yes. In fact, there's a very large section in this, separated by individual episodes. Let's see. Oh, the one where Celestia sends 2 tickets to the Grand Galloping Gala. And everyone fights over it. You know, she sends the tickets back, and Celestia just responds, "Why didn't you just say so?"
Just say so. That's not really so impactful. That's more of a joke version of Wham, but that's not a Wham.
Princess Celestia invites you to the wedding between Princess Mia More Cadenza and
My brother.
My brother? She has a brother?
Yeah, I suppose.
And he's getting married? And she doesn't know? My name isn't Bon Bon. It's Special Agent Sweetie Drops.
Again, that's where I'm made for laughter. That's not a serious swear moment.
Yeah, no.
I don't think a single thing in that episode can be taken seriously. I don't think after we fight this boss, do I? No. We go back to town. Don't really want to.
Actually, I haven't been hungry since I met Spike, and changelings are always hungry.
And,
In
no.
here, this simple exchange sets up the episode's climax.
That does remind me of the Marvel, I'm always angry.
Yeah, I'm not...
Ah, no.
I forget, did you play Deltarune as well?
No, but I've seen some. I've seen a Let's Play of it.
Including, like, the bit at the very beginning with the character creation, quote-unquote?
Oh, I played through the beginning with Chandra.
Okay, yeah. Your
You,
answer is...
you want to know what she named her character? Chris.
What?
She wanted to name it Chris.
Ha. Your answers, your wonderful creation, will now be discarded. No one can choose who they are in this world.
Although I think that the character always looks the same, it would be funny if, like, the character had, like, a random appearance. Oh my gosh, right! How I Met Your Mother. How could I have forgotten that one? You're familiar with it. I know you've mentioned it, at least.
Yeah. I mean, I saw, like, parts of the first season of it, but I was just like... Yeah,
So, episode 1. The end of episode 1. And that is how I met your Aunt Robin. Yeah, so you say you don't care about the show, so you don't mind if it gets spoiled?
Yeah, go ahead.
The finale, which really I was kind of expecting from basically the beginning, turns out the mother died.
Yeah.
And that's why he's telling the story, oh, this is how I met your mother. Now that she's dead, I'm going to tell you all the story of how we had first met. Because that would be the time to say, like, the stories after something like that had happened. As far as premises for a show go, like, it's not the worst, it's also not the best. I enjoyed it while I was watching it. Especially when they randomly broke out into a musical number in one episode. That just came out of nowhere.
Yeah. See some stuff from Skyrim, but it's just like, those are...
Oh gosh, here's a major spoiler part, but I know you're already familiar with it, so it's not a spoiler to you specifically. Order of the Stick.
Yeah. I'm sure there's lots of things in there that would be, yes.
No, I'm thinking of the biggest one.
Durkin?
No, I think we're thinking of different ones here. Oh, yes. We've made a world before. We had crafted it all together, and once the snow took it, we made a gravestone that you are standing on right now. And then, of course, we made a second world. Changed in certain ways, but those of us who survived played our part in it. You can see its gravestone right over there.
We tried a lot of time.
No, just because like you spend so much of the comic thinking this is the second world. No, this is not the second, not the third, not the fourth. They've literally had all of eternity to keep building worlds. So many that even when the gravestones are far enough away to be little dots in the distance, your entire view line goes gray. One thing you can say about us gods: we're persistent. Tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of worlds. Not just two. And that explains why the gods are so willing to just destroy the world because, oh, I want to make a better coastline. Because at this point, what does it matter to them?
Oh god. I'm just love right here. Yeah, I'm also just looking here. Five Nights at Freddy's. The second game scored 2 Wham lines in its trailer.
Welcome back. You'll see there's no doors.
Well, if you're hearing this, the chances are you've made a very poor career choice. And zero doors.
Yeah, 0 doors. People were freaked out about that when I first heard it. Oh my gosh, no doors? How are you going to protect yourself? Yeah, it turns out it's actually really easy. And then the, I guess, ending? One of the endings also had a wham shot that it seems like most people who played it didn't even notice. The date in the check is set before the date of the check in the first game. So Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is actually a prequel, not a sequel.
Yep. Third game. After a very uneventful night 1, second phone call has this. But I have even better surprise for you, and you're not going to believe this. We found one. A real one.
After players spend the entire, first night either on the phone or, more than likely, trying to frantically find the animatronic before it kills them on night 1, which they believe to be possible. And then... Oh, it wasn't here yet! And now it is.
Oh, I guess this is, the one that's kind of become, the meme, but I always come back. But,
So, is a wham line more impactful or less impactful if the person saying the wham line stresses its importance? Because I'd almost think it's more impactful if they just treat it as like, oh yeah, no, this is obvious. Oh yeah, the face of Bo, they called me.
Oh, how about, let's see, sister location, one of the opening narration. With all due respect, those aren't the design choices we were curious about, Mr. Afton. And in the canon ending, Circus Baby has already been here today. Hee hee hee.
So I know of one of a show that I don't know if you've seen. But there is The Good Place.
I have seen it. Yes, I've seen it all the way through.
Okay, I haven't, but I know the big wham moment.
Which one?
We're not in The Good Place.
Yeah, that's the wham moment of season 1.
Yeah. What, there's a bigger wham moment later on?
I mean, there's multiple.
I mean, it seems like a pretty big one.
Yeah, I mean, heck, you know, there's the wham line in episode 1 where she reveals that she knows she's not supposed to be in the good place.
Oh, okay, I know you don't like the show, but RE0 has a... I don't know if it would count as a wham line or a wham shot. After... I don't remember exactly when this was. After the first episode, or at the end of the first episode, or during the first episode. After the guy is murdered, and then he just kind of wakes up to the guys like, hey, are you gonna buy one or not? From early in the day. I mean, yeah, if you didn't know what you were getting into, I think that would count. Even though it's super early onset, or... Oh! Well, maybe we just didn't like to be pushed around.
Hey, did you get a new weapon?
Yes.
Paw
Stick. You acquire some effective techniques if you master it. It's also... Okay, the handling is worse, but otherwise seems pretty darn good compared to my current one.
It's a toy. Also, do you remember the Flash game, The Impossible Quiz?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's listed on here because, there's
Use
one
5 skips.
Very end.
Use 5 skips, or whatever.
Yep,
use all of your skips.
Yeah, potentially
So
the easiest question there is, or your worst nightmare, depending on how you've played the quiz. Good luck!
Yeah, if you've used even a single skip, you can't win.
Yep.
But wasn't there some, like, bigger game like that or something? Like, at the very beginning of the game, you're given some choice. And, like, the game says, like, oh yeah, I'll take that into consideration.
Oh, okay, you know what? I'm sure there's multiple, but the one that immediately comes to mind is the Saw video game.
Oh!
Because in the first level, you play as one character. In the rest of the game, you play as a different character. Here's the thing. The way the first level ends is either you or the other character escapes onto an elevator. Which means if you are really good at the first level and get into the elevator at the end, well,
You can't beat the game.
you can't. Yeah, the character you play as for the rest of the game will not escape. Only one of you can. Oh, and then of course there's one, that comes, one big one from here. Did you ever play Jade Empire?
I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah, it was another one made by BioWare. I think one of their last ones. I think it was the last one they made before Mass Effect. And definitely the last one they made before joining EA. Yeah, there's about either somewhere between halfway to 2/3 through the game. There is a major twist.
Oh, neat.
A major twist and a major betrayal.
Cool, fun.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of some more while I'm playing and just... Like, I can think of lots of ideas for things that could make into WAM lines, but I don't remember if they're actually, like, in shows and stuff. Tell me why I just remembered the, like, opening scene of Reincarnated as a Sword. It's like, oh yeah, I died in my old world and got reincarnated as this one. No, not as a beautiful cat girl. Oh gosh, I've been, like, planning for a nice, WAM moment in one of the D&D games that I'm in, where everyone thinks that my character is some sort of a ghost who had died, and now has weird ghostly powers, including, basically the only thing that she can make contact with being her sword that she wielded back in life. But the character is actually the sword who can make a ghostly image appear of the person who used to wield it. But even that's not the full deal, because the person who used to wield the sword didn't actually die. Instead, they were captured by, well, over the course of the game, it said, oh yeah, cursed this way by some unknown spell. Yeah, the spell was Trap the Soul. The actual Amber Starblade is trapped inside the sword itself, so if the sword ever breaks, Amber will be released, but the sword will be dead.
Huh.
I figured that could make for some nice, tension later on. Yeah, you want to, save this person who means more to you than anything? Die. Ah, I'm out of wooden pickaxes. Huh. Don't think we're allowed to craft any either. No, not particularly good. Or you're just distracted by reading more examples.
I'm reading examples, but also, I don't know. Just,
Ruby Volume 3, Weiss insists that she can't use her summons, even though it's supposed to be part of her abilities. And then it's revealed. Let's not exit the cave yet. And then it's revealed, like, at the end of that scene, that, oh, she can summon a little.
Yeah, there's a bunch in the Mass Effect series too.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, so many big ones.
Oh, mastered by magic. Nice. Two grand prizes! Drat, and they're both magic stone.
Oh, you know what? Hey, you remember that game that's kind of similar to the Zero Escape ones? The one where it's just no one has to die?
Sure.
Yeah. Of every ending delivers a wham line.
No one has to die?
No one has to. The phrase that the birds were taught, it was, Christina lives. Another one, I lit the fire. I've been here before. You know, it had the whole looping time travel thing.
Yeah.
Let's just see here.
Or even, heck, a wham line in, like, in the game itself, if you wind up saving, like, people in, like, the wrong order, whatever. Because, like, normally it's, like, going to rooms, like, oh yeah, 4 people, 3, like, what is it, like, 1 death, unavoidable, or something. And then you wind up killing the first 2 because it's unavoidable, so you have 2 people left, and it's just 2 deaths, unavoidable.
Yeah. For the bad endings, yeah. 2 casualties, unavoidable.
Yeah, that's it. And it's like,
fire.
Oh,
or on the start of the final path. Fire on floor B3. No casualties expected.
Yeah.
Because, of course, you know, there's the fire. If someone is dying every time.
No. Just reminds me of the Doctor Who, the website. It's like, just this once, Rose. Everybody lives. Not a wham line, but still very impactful. But if we just sat here and just kept talking about the Doctor Who wham lines, we'd be here all day. I'd be able to get enough episodes done to finish this whole series.